And you've got to study and think about this money stuff through the lens of behavior modification. It's not a math problem.
Think you need to make a six-figure salary to become rich? Think again. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how you make your money work for you. Today, we're diving into a plan that can turn even the modest income into significant wealth. And who better to guide us than the master of smart finances, Dave Ramsey. Let's debunk some myths and lay down a blueprint to riches on a budget.
A written plan. You have to do a budget on paper, on purpose, before the month begins, every month. If you worked for a company called You Incorporated and you manage money for You Incorporated.
Imagine you're the captain of a ship, sailing the vast ocean of your financial future. Your salary is the wind in your sails. Now, you might not have the strongest gale like those high earners, but even a gentle breeze can take you to exotic destinations if you know how to navigate. That's where your budget comes in. It's your compass, your map, your GPS. Let's get real for a second. A staggering 78% of American workers live paycheck to paycheck. That's not just a number. That's people struggling to make ends meet, let alone save for the future. But it doesn't have to be that way. Enter the zero-based budget, a concept championed by none other than Dave Ramsey himself. So, what's a zero-based budget? Think of each dollar as an employee. With a zero-based budget, you're the CEO, and you're assigning every single one of your dollars a job to do. No freeloaders allowed. Every month, income minus outgo equals zero. Not zero in your bank account, but zero unassigned dollars. Now you might say, well, I'm not good with numbers. Here's the thing. Budgeting isn't calculus. It's basic arithmetic. It's about being intentional. If you plan on saving $100 this month, that's $100 less in the dining out column. It's cause and effect, action and reaction. And let's talk about the power of budget over time. If you save just $100 in a month, that's $1,200 a year. Over 5 years, not counting any interest or investments, that's a $6,000 safety net you've spun, thread by thread. But it's more than just saving. It's about spending smarter too. Did you know that the average American spends $3 a day on coffee? That's nearly $1,100 a year just on your Morning Joe. Swap that out for home brewed, and you've just found your $100 a month to save. This isn't about pinching pennies until they scream. It's about making your money shout your successes from the rooftops. It's about control. With zero-based budget, you're not just hoping to reach your financial goals. You're steering straight towards them. So grab that wheel, set your course, and let's turn that gentle salary breeze into a treasure-laden voyage. It all starts with a budget.
The middle class ensures that they're never going to be anything but middle class by being in debt to credit card companies and car companies.
Imagine this. You have a race going on, but your backpack is full of rocks. Every rock is a debt, weighing you down and making every step harder than the last. This is the reality for many. In fact, the average American has $90,460 in debt. That's not just a backpack, that's a boulder. But here's where we take a page from Dave Ramsey's playbook and start removing these rocks, one by one, using the debt snowball method. It's simple. You list your debts from smallest to largest and attack the little guy first, throwing as much money at it as you can while paying the minimums on the rest. Why does this work? Because motivation is a powerful force. When you clear that first small debt, you feel this victory, and that's a fuel for the fire. You take down the second, then the third. Before you know it, you're not just running, you're sprinting, lighter with every step. Let's say your smallest debt is a $500 credit card bill. You scrape, you save, you pay it off. That's one rock gone. You're not just $500 less in debt, you're gaining speed. Now, you take what you were paying on that card and add it to the next debt. This isn't a subtraction, it's multiplication. Of effort, of progress, of hope. And what about interest? It's the silent enemy, compounding not in your favor, but against you. By tackling the smallest debts first, you're not just cutting down what you owe. You're reducing the interest that builds up, saving you money in the long run. Imagine crossing that first line debt-free. How does it feel? Lighter? faster, empowered? That's not just a dream, it's a destination. And the debt snowball method is your roadmap. So, let's start lifting those rocks and clearing the path to financial freedom. It's not just about getting out of debt, it's about getting into life.
It's your rainy day fund for when stuff happens, not if stuff happens. Because stuff is going to happen. And you better be ready.
Just picture yourself on a peaceful boat trip when suddenly a storm rolls in. There are big waves, strong winds, and a lot of water coming in. This is no time to be without a life jacket. In the financial world, that life jacket is your emergency fund. It's the difference between sailing through the storm or being tossed overboard into a sea of debt. Now let's face some hard numbers. A report from the Federal Reserve found that 4 in 10 adults, if faced with some expected expense of $400, would either not be able to cover it or would cover it by selling something or borrowing money. That's a staggering statistic. It means that for many, a single financial wave could capsize their entire boat. Dave Ramsey preaches a gospel of preparedness, 3 to 6 months of expenses tucked away in a safe, easily accessible account. But why such a range? Because life isn't one size fits all. If you're a freelancer with an unpredictable income, 6 months is your magic number. If you have a stable job, maybe 3 months will do. Think about it. The average monthly expense for an American household is about $5,102 according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That means a fully funded emergency fund could be anywhere from $15,306 to $30,612. That's a big range, but the peace of mind it buys is priceless. But how do you get there? Well, it starts with a budget, cutting down on those little luxuries. Did you know that the average American eats out 4 to 5 times a week, spending about $12.75 each time? That's over $200 a month that could be seeding your emergency fund. But what about those daily coffee runs we talked about? Or that premium cable package you barely use? It's about making choices, prioritizing security over immediate gratification. But let's say you're doing all the right things. You're still struggling to save. That's when you get creative. Maybe it's a side job, a garage sale, or even cashing in those old bonds your grandma gave you. Every dollar you save is a brick in the fortress that protects you from financial disaster. And here's a what if for you. What if, after all your hard work, nothing happens? No emergencies, no disasters. Well, that money is still yours. It's not wasted, it's waiting. It's earning interest, however modest. And it's there when you decide to buy a house, start a business, or take that dream vacation. So, let's start building that emergency fund. Let's turn those if-onlys into I'm ready for anything. With a solid emergency fund, you're not just weathering the storm, you're dancing in the rain. Now, let's navigate the world of investing. It's like planting a garden. You start with the seeds, the money you saved, and over time, with care and patience, you grow a bountiful harvest. But you don't need a fortune to start. You can plant with the pennies you've pinched and the dollars you've saved up. Consider this. The stock market has averaged a 10% annual return before inflation over the last century. Even a modest investment can grow significantly over time thanks to the magic of compound interest. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering mass. Except this snowball is made of your money, and the hill is the timeline of your investment.
When you sit down with someone that actually knows what the flip they're doing, they can help you put the cookies on a shelf where you can reach them. That's called a teacher. And you understand about mutual funds, and you understand about the track record on a mutual fund, and that's how I started investing.
But let's say you're still skeptical. What if the market crashes? Here's where Ramsey's wisdom shines. Diversify. Don't put all of your eggs into one basket. Spread your investments across different assets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and then stay on course. The market will have its ups and downs, but over time, it will trend upward. And remember, investing isn't gambling. It's calculated risk-taking. It's about doing your homework, understanding what you're investing in, and setting realistic expectations. So, let's turn those savings into investments. Let's watch our financial garden grow. With wise investing, even the smallest seed can one day become the mightiest oak in the forest. While managing expenses is crucial, there's another side to the coin: increasing your income. It's like finding a new stream for a river. The more streams feeding into it, the mightier it becomes. In today's gig economy, the opportunities are vast. Nearly a third of Americans are engaged in some form of freelance work. It's about leveraging your skills, your hobbies, your passions. Can you write? There's a market for that. Crafty with woodwork? Sell your creations. Coding, tutoring, pet sitting, the list is endless. According to Dave Ramsey, you must gain control over your money, or the lack of it will forever control you. Ramsey often talks about the dignity of work and the power of earning extra money. It's not just about the paycheck. It's about taking control. It's about the self-respect that comes from making it your own way. But let's crunch some numbers. If you could make an extra $100 a week, that's $5,200 a year. That could be your emergency fund, your debt snowball, your investment seed money. But what about time? Well, I'm already stretched thin, you might say. Here's where efficiency comes in. Maybe it's a side job you can do from home, or while commuting, or after the kids go to bed. It's about finding those pockets of opportunity and filling them with purpose and profit. So, let's expand our financial horizons. Let's tap into our talents and turn them into concrete gains. With a bit of creativity and a lot of hustle, increasing our income is not just a possibility, it's a plan of action.
If you will live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else.
Living below your means isn't about depriving yourself. It's about empowering yourself. It's the art of creating a buffer between you and life's uncertainties. Think of it as financial breathing room. Here's a startling fact. Nearly 70% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved. That's not a lot of breathing room. Living below your means is how you change that. It's how you turn the tide from living paycheck to paycheck to securing financial freedom. Dave Ramsey says it's not about the money you make, it's about the money you keep. And keeping money means making smart choices. Do you really need the latest smartphone upgrade, or can that money go towards your savings? Could you cook at home more often instead of dining out? These choices add up. It's also about foresight. When you plan for the future, you might have to give up some things in the present, but the reward is financial peace. So, let's start today. Let's examine our expenses, cut the fat, and prioritize our financial health. By living below our means, we're not just saving money, we're buying freedom, and that's a purchase worth every penny. Take these lessons, consistently apply them, and watch your financial life transform. So, tell your money where to go, towards savings, towards investments, towards your future. Subscribe for more financial wisdom, and let's turn your earnings into a legacy. Until next time, live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else. Take care and stay financially savvy.